drives across the plains. Thunder speaks and calls our names. Hearts ignite, no time to flee. We ride the wind wild and free. Into the vortex, we chase the storm. Through fire and lightning, against the norm. Fear won't break us, the winds obey. We hunt the chaos and light the way. No turning back, the sky's alive. We're built for this, we burn, we drive. Into the vortex, we rise, we roar. With Midwest fury, we chase once more. Storm-born spirits, we face the night. Midwest storm chasers, ignite the fight. No turning back, the sky's alive. We're built for this, we pure, we chase once more. Storm-born spirits, we face the night. Midwest storm chasers, ignite the fight.
Now, if that's not an opening to a live stream, I don't know what is. But, yeah, that was good. I like that one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday, March 29th, 2025, where we're going to cover a couple of things with this stream for you guys. We're going to go over kind of what to expect for the next, we'll say 24 to 48 hours. And kind of what to be on the watch for and what to be looking out for. So right now we just got the live map up here with the NAM3 model. We'll flip between a couple of the models and just show you guys kind of what each of them are seeing. Some of them might line up, some of them might not. So we'll jump right into this. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our live stream, our live severe weather briefing here at Midwest Storm Chasers. I'm Collin, and we're tracking a 2-day severe weather setup. So this is going to contain parts of today and tomorrow. It's got potential to impact millions from the southern plains tonight to the Ohio and Mississippi Valley tomorrow. Whether you're in Oklahoma, Missouri, Kentucky, or Tennessee, this is a system you guys need to stay alert for and be ready, kind of if it hits. So we're going to start right into it. The day one outlook for today. Today is severe weather risk. It's kind of a weird one because there's some, but there's not. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk of severe thunderstorms for parts of central and northern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and western Missouri. Storms are expected to develop late this afternoon and evening, especially near the cold front and dry line intersection in western Oklahoma, then spreading northeast into the Ozarks and mid-Mississippi Valley overnight. The key threats with this storm for today is going to be very large hail, possibly up to 2.5 inches in diameter, damaging winds, and possibly a couple of tornadoes, particularly with any early supercells in northern Oklahoma or southeast Kansas. That is definitely an area where we could see potential. The models show a strong cap in place most of the day, so storm development will likely hold off until late afternoon or evening, which, looking at the NAM3 model, actually kind of shows exactly what we're expecting. So as we get into it, we're gonna kind of go back here. So here's the 12 o'clock kind of look right now. Right now we've got kind of some scattered showers over here. You've got some some supercells. I wouldn't even call them supercells. Just a couple of storms up in the Nebraska area. But again, the area that we're looking at is going to be right down here in the Kansas, Oklahoma area. That is kind of our area that we're targeting for today, in regards to what these potential storms could bring, what they could produce. So as we kind of progress through the day with the forecast here, we'll see by 6-7 o'clock we're gonna start seeing, those cells starting to pop up down in this region here, and so you'll start to see those cells popping up. And as we work through into that late hours of the night, we're talking 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night for some of them. That's when we're gonna start to see again that cell structure start to build, and that's when we could start seeing potential for some of those damaging storms, or there's those tornadoes here and there. Again, that's kind of what we're seeing with the SPC for today. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Just kind of what we're seeing. But yeah, so late afternoon and evening. But once the storms initiate, the environment will support supercell transitioning to clusters overnight. Reminder: if you are in or near the risk zone, make sure your weather alerts are active and have a way to get warnings, especially after dark. That is something that you will hear us voice just constantly, because at the end of the day, there's only so much warning that we can give to the general public, and we do everything that we can to try and get out alerts, get out information, posting stuff on our Facebook page, to kind of help get that information out there. So, but let's go right into the day two outlook for tomorrow, which is the day that I'm actually kind of interested for. So what we'll do is I will grab this, and we will go ahead and take a look at the outlook for tomorrow, and we'll also throw. So all right, so there we go. So right now, let's switch this over to the NAM 3. I like that model a little bit better. Right now, here's what we're looking at. So they did put an enhanced on this model. This is what we're looking at for tomorrow. So shifting into Sunday, March 30th. This is the day we're watching very closely. The SPC has issued an enhanced risk for a large area stretching from Illinois and Indiana down through Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi, and parts of the lower Mississippi and Ohio valleys. We're looking at the potential for a widespread high-impact severe weather event with all hazards possible. This includes very large hail, widespread damaging winds, and strong possible long-tracking tornadoes. This is why we're watching this so heavily, and we're being very diligent about what we're looking at. You can see here on the SPC, so here's the categorical. Again, there's the enhanced. These are the areas that it's affecting, and then again, it kind of just blooms out from there. So it's not saying that, if you're in the marginal or slight, you're not going to see maybe as bad, but you might see a couple of thunderstorms or maybe some hail or some high winds. However, the tornado threat is where we're watching very closely on this. The significant severity areas and the 10% region that we're watching is again that Illinois and Indiana down through Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi, and parts of that lower Mississippi and Ohio Valley. You can see it here in this hashed area. This is the area that they're going to be very, very careful to watch, is right in here, because that is where we can see some of those high winds that are very damaging, large hail, as well as some strong and very possible long track tornadoes. That's kind of the region that we're watching. And I'll show you that here in just a second. We'll jump right into the model for it, and we'll let that play. Scattered storms are likely to develop through the afternoon across parts of Missouri and Illinois, becoming more organized as they push east into Indiana, Kentucky, and western Ohio. By evening, meanwhile, in the Mid-South and Tennessee Valley, instability and moisture will be increasing, setting the stage for strong possible supercells later in the day and evening. So again, kind of like today, we're not expecting this to be an all-day event. This is setting itself up for what the potential is for later in the day, for later in the evening. Well, some uncertainty remains, especially regarding cloud covers, early convection. The threat is still significant. If things clear out in parts of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, we could be looking at a high-end tornado and wind threat for the day. If you just a heads up, if you're in or near eastern Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, or northern Mississippi, now is the time to double check your severe weather plans. Make sure you guys know what you're going to be doing. Make sure you know where to go, and make sure you have your weather radios. That way, you know what's going to happen, and you are prepared for any potential, damaging winds, damaging storms, or of that nature. So let's take a look at the model here. Again, this is the NAM3, so there is a couple different models we look at. There's the HRRR, the NAM3, and the NAM12. Each of them kind of show a different perspective. Sometimes they line up, and that's when usually we start to see some pretty interesting storms. So we'll get through the late nights of Saturday into Sunday, and as we work our way into Sunday, kind of mid-morning and into the early afternoons, this is when we'll start to see this line of cells start to develop. And again, this is what they're talking about is this line right here. So you have that line that's starting to develop, and as we continue in through the day, you'll start to see that line become very defined and very I wouldn't say bowed out, but it becomes more defined. So now you have that stretch from all the way down here in the lower Arkansas, Mississippi area, all the way up through Kentucky, Tennessee, and again up into even West Virginia. You might see some thunderstorms up there. But again, the area that we're really focusing on for tomorrow is going to be this area right in here. Okay. And again, this is, we're talking, this is a cell that could be, over the late hours of the night into the early morning of Monday. And so we're kind of keeping a very close eye on what could potentially happen and what might come. So we're going to take a look at the HRRR here. Again, some of these might not be updated yet. Yeah, so this one is not updated yet. However, I believe I can go back and grab the 15 Zulu. So we'll take a look at this one here. So going through today, here's the late hours of tonight. And again, you start to see that line of cells down here. That is the cells that we're watching for tonight. And then again, as we continue into the next day, we start to see some of those cells developing more along here in the Kansas area. And then we'll kind of wait to see what the HRRR shows for that, for the eastern part of the states. But here's the NAM12. We'll take a look at this one here. When was this one published? This was yesterday, or actually this was today at 12 Zulu, which 12 Zulu is 7 o'clock in the morning. So here we go. Here's the late hours of tonight, starting to develop down in the Kansas, Oklahoma area, pushing through by early morning. And then coming into the 30th, this is where we're not saying it's going to happen, but we're keeping a very close eye on it, because you start to have issues where the NAM3 and the NAM12 don't really show anything significant. But looking at the NAM3 model, I prefer this model over the NAM12. Because that right there is what I am watching for right there. So again, that's the early morning hours into Monday morning as we start to see that line develop. But moving forward, again, this is something that, as we watch these storms and we start tracking them and we get into them, if it's something that, if we can bring you guys alerts and live news about it, we definitely will. Even though we won't be out chasing, we won't be out this round of storms to cover it, just because this came on at such a late time that we don't have the time to get out there in time. We will be providing as much coverage as we can to everybody via our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and the likes. So kind of a short stream today, not really going to go into a whole lot of stuff, because again, it's one of those things where until we start seeing something that we are liking, there's not a whole lot to report on. But one of the things that we can pull up, and we'll pull up the. Let me grab the satellite imagery for this, and we'll take a look at that really quickly. All right, where is my cloud cover? And we may have to just use the radar omega for it. Oh, that's fine. We could do that. All right, let me open up this. Okay, there we go. We'll take a look at the WeatherWise app here. So this is a newer app that we're taking a look at. This is kind of the cloud coverage that we're seeing right now. So quite a bit of cloud coverage over the area. Nothing too crazy. Again, some areas that we're watching, looking at it. But again, like this is the potential for severe weather is definitely there. As much as I want to think that we won't see any damaging storms or anything that could be potentially destructive, I have to remind myself that it is always a possibility. So we're gonna wrap this stream up here in about 10 minutes. I'll leave this up on the screen for a little bit longer so you guys can see. Also, just so you guys are aware, we have some new overlays for the stream, so that way you guys get as much of high, the high alerts and whatnot as soon as possible, because that is, again, our whole entire goal is to make sure that everybody is getting alerts when they can and as fast as they can. Yeah, to sum it all up, tonight we're watching the dangerous storms across Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, especially after sunset. Tomorrow we could see a major severe weather outbreak across a large swath of the Ohio Mississippi valleys. We'll be providing live radar coverage and updates throughout the weekend right here, so be sure to follow us or follow our page and turn on notifications. And you heard me mention YouTube channel. we have just launched our official YouTube channel for the Midwest Storm Chasers. You'll be able to rewatch today's stream, catch more forecast highlight clips and breakdowns by heading over to youtube.com/@MW Storm Chasers, and that'll take you right to our YouTube page. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update during severe weather. That way you guys know what's coming. But thank you everybody for tuning in today. We'll be back later with radar tracking and real-time coverage as storms begin to develop. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and always keep your eyes on the sky. Thank you everybody for watching. Catch you later.